welcome to Newfoundland and Labrador Studies 2205. This is Unit 3, The Country Grows, Section 4, Lesson 10, Video 1, on Contributions and Military Bases. I'm Miss Fleming, your instructor for this course, so let's get started. Britain declared war against Germany on September 3, 1939, which automatically involved Newfoundland and Labrador. Many were eager to enlist, but Newfoundland no longer had its own armed forces since the Royal Newfoundland Regiment and Royal Naval Reserve both disbanded and the economy prevented their re-establishment. The Commission of Government encouraged volunteers to enlist in British, Canadian, and other Allied forces instead. So let's talk about the contributions of Newfoundland and Labrador citizens. Approximately 22,000 Newfoundlanders and Labradorians served overseas in World War II, which is almost 8% of the population. Servicemen and women served on land, sea, and air, fighting in Britain, Germany, Italy, France, Belgium, and North Africa. The Royal Navy attracted more volunteers than any other single branch of the armed forces. Many also joined Canadian units. Two of my great-uncles were actually part of the Royal Navy. Approximately 10,000 people served in the Merchant Marine Corps, transporting food, personnel, and supplies to Great Britain. German U-boats sank an average of 33 Allied merchant vessels a week at the height of combat. The Newfoundland Overseas Forestry Unit, or the NOFU, also sent about 36,000 loggers to the United Kingdom. Let's also talk about service at home. Some residents joined the Home Defence Force created by the Commission of Government. Originally, it was known as the Newfoundland Militia. It became the Newfoundland Regiment in 1943. The Women's Patriotic Association, which we've mentioned before, the Newfoundland Patriotic Association, and the Red Cross were also heavily involved. Individuals sent clothing, food, and other comforts to soldiers overseas. They also provided medical care, visited bereaved family members, and raised money for the war effort. I wanted to bring your attention to this image here, and this is actually a German submarine that came to St. John's Harbor. There was actually a lot more action during the Second World War off the shores of Newfoundland and Labrador. A large part of World War II and Newfoundland and Labrador was foreign military bases. During World War II, there were Canadian and American military bases throughout the colony. The location of Newfoundland and Labrador was considered very important and was known as the stepping stone to North America. And its security was considered critical in the defense of North America. I mean, think about it, we're the easternmost point of the continent, so it was seen as an access point to the rest of the continent. Firstly, let's talk about Canadian bases. Canada decided to take over the defense of Newfoundland and Labrador in September 1939 and spent approximately $65 million to establish bases and defense. Air bases were established in Torbay and Goose Bay. Airports were expanded in Gander and Botwood. A naval base in St. John's and a ship repair site was opened in Bay Bulls. As many as 16,000 servicemen and women were stationed here from Canada. Fighter squadrons and bombers based in Torbay patrolled the North Atlantic for U-boats, while the airports were used for refueling aircraft to fly overseas, and the naval base provided escorts and protected convoy lanes, so that air base in Torbay is now what's the St. John's Airport. Now let's talk about American bases. Under the Leased Bases Agreement with Great Britain, the United States built an Army base in St. John's, an air base in Stephenville, a naval air station in Argentia, and an additional Army base in Marquise. The agreement gave a lease of the land to the United States for 99 years. In return, the U.S. gave Britain 50 of its naval destroyers. And the United States spent more than $100 million in their defense efforts here. More than 10,000 American troops served in Newfoundland and Labrador during the war as well. So now it's time to continue to the next video. I'm going to ask you to please take a break if you need one. Before you continue, have a stretch, rest your eyes, and I'll see you in a bit.